The bustling streets of Lagos echoed with the sounds of haggling car horns and the rhythmic chatter of women discussing their daily lives. In the midst of this chaos stood Bola's small hair salon, a makeshift structure of iron and wooden planks, standing proudly on the busy street corner. On this particular morning, the sun was already scorching, casting sharp shadows on the crowded street. Bola was a popular hairstylist. She was uneducated and unrefined, but not her hairstyling skills. As early as 8 a.m., she's already out sweeping and singing in her Yoruba dialect. Afterwards, she will go into bouts of declarations. As I open my shop today, make bad team waka pass, make bad customer waka pass. In fact, make dem no even see my shop. As I no carry money come out, make money full my bag as I dey go out today. Me, she would always say before opening her kiosk. Auntie Bola, a customer called out, approaching the salon. You don't open already? Bola turned, her gum chewing rhythm never breaking. Of course nah. Money no dey grow for ground, she shouted back. The young woman then asked, how much for simple cornrows? Her hands planted on her hips. Cornrows na 5,000 naira, Bola replied instantly, not even looking up from what she was doing. Ha, Bola. A simple cornrows you dey charge me so, the woman complained. Bola stopped and looked up, narrowing her eyes. If it's simple, why you no do am by yourself? Why come my shop? Abeg, if you know dey pay, talk, ma go attend to others, I no get time. But Bola's story wasn't just about hair. It was a story of survival, of a young woman who learned early that life would never hand her anything easily. She was born in a small village just outside Lagos. She was the firstborn child of traditional herbalists, respected in their community but perpetually poor. Her parents could only afford to send her through primary school, and even that was a struggle. Her earliest memories were of hunger, of watching her younger sisters, Ajoke and Funke, cry from empty stomach, of learning that if she wanted anything, she would have to get it herself. By the time Bola was 10, she had already become the family's primary breadwinner. Many evenings, Bola would return home with whatever she could earn, sometimes a plate of food and other times just a few naira notes. One evening, after a long day of braiding, young Bola walked into their small mud brick house with a plate of steaming roasted yam, balanced carefully in her hands. Where's mommy and daddy? She asked, setting down the food. Ajoke, her younger sister, looked up with hungry, expectant eyes. They did not tell us, but they said we should not wait for them. Bola watched as her sisters hungrily devoured the yam. Bola had always wondered why her parents were always busy yet so poor. Her father, when she once asked why he didn't charge for his herbal services, had simply smiled and said, my skill is not for sale. Whatever anyone decides to give me, I accept. Thanksgiving to the gods. The weekends were her training ground. She would always go help a local stylist, running endless errands while watching and learning. Bola, abeg come fetch water for me, the woman would call. Yes, ma, Bola would respond, her eyes never leaving the intricate hair braiding happening before her. But Bola was smart. While others saw a young girl doing menial tasks, she saw an opportunity to learn. She observed every twist of the hair, every technique, and every hand movement. The hairstylist had no idea that Bola was absorbing every single detail like a sponge. That was how Bola learned hairstyling. Months after, her parents' hall became her hair salon. But the place was old and was constantly smelling of herbal concoctions. Some customers were afraid, others were disgusted and would often hesitate before entering. I can't sit here, one customer once complained. This place looks like a witch's dwelling. Bola smiled and said, Madam, now here you won't make up, you won't complain. She lost many clients who couldn't bear the environment. Some were scared of her parents who were known in the village as powerful witch doctors. Undeterred, Bola moved to the city. Here, she planned to reinvent herself. No one knew her as the daughter of village herbalists. She found work with another hairstylist, determined to make a name for herself. After a few months, Bola's mother bewitched her new boss, who suddenly called her one day, and to everyone's shock, handed over the entire salon to her. Other workers were stunned, congratulating her, while secretly wondering what miracle had occurred. Months later, it was heard that the previous owner had fallen sick and died under mysterious circumstances. Her salon became a place of transformation, where ladies came in looking haggard, but lived with perfectly braided hair and renewed confidence. On this particular sunny afternoon, her salon was full. Women with different hair needs filled the small space, and her loud voice could be heard discussing prices and stars. The air was thick with the smell of hair products and sweat. Bala suddenly heard noises outside her kiosk and went out to see 3 men who told her the landowner wanted her to move. He was planning to build something. Bala looked at them from head to toe, her eyes flashing with a mixture of anger and boldness. She swore and cursed them in her tribal language before walking back into her salon. Auntie Bola. A customer tried to reason with her. But they are right. What you should have done is negotiate with them instead of threatening them. I didn't negotiate anything, madam. Bola replied, "Na thief dem be. They no fit do anything." Days later, the unexpected happened. Bola arrived at her salon to find her kiosk destroyed, pulled down, with her goods in shreds. Everything she had worked for reduced to nothing. She sat on the ground, crying, shouting and yelling curses, while other women tried to calm her down. Bola was sitting beside the ruins of her shop, her heart broken and full of sorrow. She had worked so hard to build her business, but now everything was in shreds. Bola, wetin you still dey do here? You won't die with your shop? A concerned neighbor asked Bola as she was locking up her shop to go home for the night. Bola ignored her and sat still with her hands on her chin, lost in her own world. Many others passed, asking her questions, while others looked at her with pity, but no one stayed long enough to offer any help. Eventually, exhaustion overtook her and she fell asleep. When she woke up and looked around, the street was deserted with an eerie stillness. Bola, however, was not one to be afraid. She knew what she was looking for. She sat up straight, her eyes scanning the dark streets, waiting. Minutes later into the night, a mysterious heavy wind started blowing, but only behind Bola. She turned to see, but it stopped. It continued, but whenever she turned, everywhere would be still like nothing happened. She then decided to sit facing the direction of the wind. But just as she did, she felt something brush against her face, as though something passed over her. Then she felt a hand gently rest on her shoulder. She turned and was shocked to see an old woman. She was bent and wretched looking, with long golden dreadlocks that reached the ground. Her eyes were a piercing blue, and her clothes were torn and ragged. She smiled as she looked at Bola. Then she called Bola by her full tribal name, only known to Bola and her parents. "Bolariwa Jumoke," the old woman called. Bola looked up at the old woman, wide-eyed. "Who are you?" she whispered, her heart racing. The woman introduced herself as Gogoja, Bola's great-grandmother, and said she came to help Bola. Bola was desperate. She had lost everything, and at that moment, she felt she would accept help from anyone, even if it meant accepting from the devil. She was, however, happy that she wasn't making any deal with the devil, but her mother's ancestor. The old woman consoled her and promised to help her start her business again. Back at home the next morning, Bola's mother asked her about her meeting with the old woman. "How do you know about it, mommy?" Bola asked, looking surprised. Her mother ignored the question. "Why did you summon her without asking me?" Bola's mother asked. "Do you think Ugoja is called the one who eats and is never satisfied for nothing?" "Mommy, Ma Baru, she spoke so kindly to me and promised to help me. I was waiting for her to ask for something, but she told me she wants nothing and disappeared." Her mother was quiet for a while and sighed, before walking away. Bola was about getting scared, but brushed it aside and became rather curious. Weeks later, Bola was back in business. She was the talk of the town. "Bola, I go pay you anything. Just make sure say this hair go bring me husband as I dey go for this wedding soon," a customer said as Bola braided her hair. "No worry. Husband go dey rush you after I finish this your hair. Just invite me for your wedding," Bola said, smiling. Every day, Bola would return very late at night and very tired. One night, she was about sleeping off when she noticed movement at the corner in her room. She ignored it as she was too tired to chase rats. But the movements grew louder, and then a laugh echoed through the room. That was when she became startled. It was her great-grandmother. "My child, how's business? I see how much you've grown," Gogoja, her great-grandmother said, smiling. But Bola was too tired but managed to say, "Gogoja, thank you. I owe it all to you. But you refuse to say what you want in return." "Well, let's get to why I'm here. I've come to know if you want it to get better than it is already." "I can help you," Gogoja said proudly. but Bola was already snoring in deep sleep. Bola Riwaju, stop speaking to Gogoja. Gogoja is a mysterious one. I don't think her help is as simple as she's making it. Mommy, you're making me scared though. Apart from her nose, Gogoja seems friendly, Bola replied. However, Bola noticed that Gogoja kept her word as more people came to her salon. At some point, she had to move to a bigger shop and employ more people. Then one day, Bola woke up with a sharp pain on her right hand. She endured as the pain was familiar. She did not raise any alarm about it to her parents as she felt it would go away as usual. She kept enduring it for days, but on the 6th day, her father called her to help him carry a bag for him into his shrine. She put her hand to lift it up and unconsciously shouted in pain, holding her hands together. Her father, alarmed, rushed to her immediately, examining her hand. What's the problem, Bola? I don't know, Daddy. Her father became puzzled as he thought of what may be wrong. Bola, this seems serious. Staying at home today will not kill you nor your business. Stay at home so I can watch this thing carefully to know what's really wrong. Bola's father said to her, but she refused. Bami, this is not the first time I'm feeling this pain. But I notice that most times once I start breathing, the pain goes away and returns when I'm done breathing. That's not good. Something is wrong, her father said with his hands on his chin. And just as she said, the pain lingered, but immediately she started breathing, the pain vanished like it was never there. But days later, before she could open her eyes one morning, her hands felt like it weighed above 70 kg as she was unable to lift it. She opened her eyes to see her hands swollen up and almost bigger than her whole body. Mommy! Mommy! She screamed, unable to sit up under the weight of her swollen hand. Her parents both rushed in and covered their mouths in shock before rushing to her side. Bola's mother immediately sat on the floor and started some incantations. Then Bola's mother jerked up and shouted, Gogoja! Ah! Bola, I warned you. Gogoja helps no one. She's only a greedy eater that's never satisfied. As it all became clear, Bola's mother asked Bola to stop braiding Ajoke's hair, revealing that the pain always goes away whenever Bola braids because the pain was sent by Gogoja to make her braid more and more women's hair so she can prolong her life. When last did you see Gogoja? Bola's mother asked Bola, who replied quietly, You see, Gogoja is weak and is in hiding while renewing herself as she braid the hair of more women. Meanwhile, you are endangering both yourself and the women whose hair you are braiding, Bola's mother said. She further told Bola to call her workers, asking them to close down the shop, as her workers may start feeling the same pain if they continue. To heal, Bola would have to endure the pain for 30 days, which was the number of days Gogoja has to live. But the pain was so intense that Bola wondered if she would make it to the 30th day. Her parents tried looking for herbs to help with the pain, but nothing was working. It was day 12 and Bola was weak and dying. Then she saw a flyer close to her bed. She picked it up and read that there was another God that could heal her, only if she believed and asked him. She held onto the flyer and kept pleading under her breath that this God should heal her. Then she suddenly felt a cool air move within her and she slept off. She woke up later to see her mother, father and sister shouting happily. She then noticed that her hands were back to its size and she felt no pain. She covered her face and cried while shouting, Thank you, Jesus! Thank you, Jesus! Though her parents wondered who she was calling, they were excited all the same. From that day on, Bola and her family became Christians. They stopped their old ways and started a new life. Bola, the once popular hairstylist, decided to stop braiding hair and instead began selling clothes. She hoped for a better future, not just for herself, but for her whole family. She knew that with God's help, anything was possible.